overseas for our country, those here at home, our City Hall staff and employees here at City Hall, most importantly, our residents of the city of Hazelwood, and any of us that lost a loved one or a friend recently. Thank you. You may be seated. I will have roll call.
Ms. Matlock, Mr. Taylor,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Ms. Hatton. Here. Mr. Hoops,
Here.
Mr. Abishon.
Here.
Mrs. Henderson. Here. Ms. Wadlow. Here. Mayor Robinson.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Next, we have amendment or adoption of the agenda. I'd like to make a special guest announcement. We have Dr. Collins Hart from the Hazelwood School District. I'd like to add her under special order of business for a speech from the school district, but we don't need to change and add that to the agenda. I just want to let you know that I'm not throwing her, ask her to come speak at that time. Is there any changes or additions, amendments to the agenda?
Move to adopt, Taylor.
Not, there's been a motion.
Second.
In a second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have amendment or adoption of the consent agenda. Is there any discussion under the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as printed?
Move to adopt, Taylor.
The motion and the second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. I'm sorry, it'll be a roll call vote.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hatton. Yes. Mr. Hoops.
Yes.
Mr. Abishon.
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson.
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow. Yes. Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have special order of business. We have guest speaker tonight, Dr. Collins Hart from Hazelwood School District. Welcome.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor. Good evening to Mayor Robinson, members of the Hazelwood City Council, City Manager Leeser. Greetings from the Hazelwood School District and Hazelwood West High School. I'm Dr. Nettie Collins Hart, Superintendent of Hazelwood School District, and we're at the end of summer. I hope your summer has been a good one. As we prepare for the fall football season at Hazelwood West, we're looking forward to a positive and productive season, working together to make this football season a great experience for our entire Hazelwood community. As we discussed in a very productive planning meeting with Chief Hudnick and City Manager Leeser and members of my administrative team, the Hazelwood School District and Hazelwood West High School have planned some outreach to the Hazelwood community, especially our patrons who live most adjacent to the newly updated football stadium. To that end, Hazelwood School District is planning a VIP evening along with a VIP pass that you should have, good for the entire football season, and a special VIP section at Hazelwood West, first home game for you as well as residents of Woodcrest Lane. We would also like to extend that invitation to our mayor, our city council members, our police chief, and of course, our city manager. The VIP pass will include free admissions to all Hazelwood West football games with a free combo meal from our concession stand and reserved seating and reserved parking if you let us know. Hazelwood West's first home game is Friday, September 5th against Webster Groves. And we again created these VIP door tags that we have for you this evening. And we also plan to deliver one to each of the residents of Woodcrest Lane with all of the VIP information. It has a list of all home games and Hazelwood School District contacts should the residents or you have any questions or concerns during football season. On behalf of the almost 17,000 students who started school this week, we're in day 3. On behalf of the Hazelwood School District Board of Education, and the administration of Hazelwood School District, two of whom are with me here tonight. I have my Assistant Superintendent for High Schools, Dr. Chauncey Granger, and my Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Rhonda Key. On behalf of all of us, thank you for your ongoing partnership with Hazelwood School District. We are looking forward to 25-26 school year. Our theme this year is moving in the right direction. So in addition to your tag that we presented to you, we gave you a car. Not an Oprah car, but a car. And it has on it our theme, moving in the right direction. Thank you for your ongoing support and thank you for the opportunity to address this group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go on.
Next, we have citizens' hearings and presentation of petitions, citizens' comments and discussion, which will be heard at this time, subject to established rules of decorum and shall be limited to a total of 15 minutes, with each speaker limited to a total of 3 minutes, which may be increased by discretion of the chair or by a motion approved by a majority of the council members present at the meeting. Is there anybody from the audience who'd like to come up and speak at this point in time? As we had announced at our last meeting, we do have a new 3-minute rule. We do like to use that as a guideline. If you have to go over that, that's okay, but we try and hold you as close to that as you can. Is there anybody under citizens' comments and presentations at this time that would like to come up and speak? Yes, ma'am. If you haven't already done so, could you please sign in at the paperwork so we know your name and address? And
My name is Tanya Canterbury, and my mother resides at, this is on her behalf. She resides at 511 Fifi Hills Drive. Okay. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager, Police Chief, and other public officials. Again, my name is Tanya Canterbury. I'm here on behalf of my mother, Darlene White, who resides at 511 Fifi Hills Drive. If you can recall, we attended and approached the council in October of 2024, meeting regarding safety issues at the intersection of Fifi Hills Drive and Fifi Road. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about 4 important points about that intersection and the safety. First, I'm going to speak about the previous incidents that have happened there. And then second, talk about the safety actions that have been taken by the city up to this point. And third, I'm going to be talking about the recent activity and incidents that have occurred since the improvements. And then finally, fourth, we're going to talk about traffic calming measures again. First, I'd like to start and say that in the last 4 years, we've been hit 5 times. And the first was June 11th, 2021. It was a hit and run, hit our mailbox. And as I mentioned before in the previous meeting, back in October, 3 times we were hit within a 9-month period. The next one was on December 28th, 2023. It was a hit and run, it hit our mailbox. The next time was June 15th, 2024. I think it probably would have been a hit and run, but the gentleman hit it with such force that he mounted the car on top of the mailbox and couldn't escape, and he was arrested for DWI. Then we were hit again on September 24th, 2024, same year, and they actually went airborne down the driveway and hit the post in the corner of the house, the garage. The second point I want to point out is I spoke to the police chief and the public works back last fall, after all that had happened last fall, and the director, David Stewart. I only talked to him 1 time regarding the traffic calming measures. I could never get a hold of him. After that, I left messages and had issues with getting back in touch with him. The course of action taken up to this point has been to install new flashing solar LED stop signs and warning signs leading up to the intersection. We still didn't feel that this was adequate to provide safety and protection for the intersection and our house and property. So that gets me to my third point, which is on July 22nd, 2025, another vehicle had hit the city sign and came down crashing into one of our large bushes, taking about half of it out. And that was, again, that was on July 22nd, 2025 of this year. And if you recall, I had said this will happen again, and it has. My husband and I have spent days cleaning up the debris from that. This was another hit and run, but I caught it on camera. And there's also police reports on all these. We currently have a petition going around, signatures from neighbors. I've walked about half of the neighborhood. I still have the other half to go yet, and I'm still gonna be working on that and getting that to you. Like we said, back in October 2024, we believe the answer is a multi-layered answer. It's a multi-layered effect. We need several traffic calming measures in place to protect pedestrians, homes, mailboxes, and property. We would like to see flashing LED stop signs at all the entrances to the intersection and a raised crosswalk. We have a major park that is right there across the street. And actually, it sounds like there's going to be some major renovations going on there, and that would be a perfect time to add a crosswalk or raise crosswalk across there. Plus, that would be another thing to hopefully slow people down. Even a curb median with signage and bollards to narrow down the street so that it encourages people to slow down and come to a stop and then make their turn. Also, I've looked into a forced turn island that accommodates either direction, something that's another obstacle out there to slow people down. I did sit down with Mr. Leeser, and our city manager, and discuss some traffic calming measures with him. He seemed confident that we could get some speed bumps, ballards, signage, and would look into additional measures we mentioned and other suggestions by other civil engineers from other municipalities. These are all very logical, reasonable, and responsible solutions that could be utilized in our city here and have been used in other municipalities. In conclusion, we, as Hazelwood residents, have many concerns about safety issues at this intersection of Fifi Road and Fifi Hills Drive. We have had 5 incidents in the last 4 years. Only 2 flashing signs, a warning sign and an actual stop sign installed. Regardless of the new signage, more accidents continue to occur, and traffic calming measures need to be in place to prevent further property damage, protect residents, and pedestrian safety. It is not a matter of if an accident will occur, but when it's going to occur next. It's proving my point every time. This is an urgent need that needs to be addressed now. And I thank you for your attention. And I just want to point out that I walk the streets and there are several, residents here, and I so appreciate them coming and showing support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for keeping it tight and back as short as possible.
Can I ask
Pretty
her-
close to the.
Can I ask her?
Yeah.
Does it?
No, you'd have to come up and citizens comments and sign in to make a comment.
Thanks to homeowners insurance.
I signed in, can I speak?
Sure.
On behalf of her neighbor. My name's Larry Roberts. I live in 406 Fifi Hills. I've been there since 1994. And I've seen the damage that's done in the last 31 years. I've seen the mailbox that her father put up there, reinforced with concrete and metal, knocked over. And I seen the last one when the car hit the house, me and my daughter. And I thought to myself at the time, how could I live there if they put the signs up and everything else and they're still hitting it? First of all, I want to say thank you for Hazelwood for putting the lights on the stop sign and the failure. That's a really good incident. Edmondson also does that. But I just like to encourage maybe you to put a couple of speed humps. I live up there too, and it'd be an inconvenience, but I'd rather have an inconvenience than see somebody living through the devastation of they're having their house hit time and time again. My brother lives in Northland Hills, West Farson, and they put some big speed humps over there to keep the kids from going so fast. They have to stop. They don't stop. They'll scrape the bottom of the car. I suggest maybe one right past the apartment complex, and I'm up there by Pershville Park. You guys are familiar, I'm talking about. Fifi Hills is like this, and Fifi Road is like that, so it's a straight shot, and if they're not paying attention, and they're obviously not because of one reason or another, it's just, my heart goes out to them. I just talked to her the other day, but me and my wife and my daughter have seen this, and we just feel so sorry for living there, and these people just constantly hitting the property. That's why I suggest if you just give it a thought, maybe put some fee pumps. I appreciate your time and thank you for the lights up there. That's something. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
haven't signed in.
You feel free to sign in and open comments at this point in time. Sign. You just need your signature so we know the record who was speaking.
All right, well,
And if you can
thank
state
you.
your name in the
Yep,
beginning.
my name is Dave Coleman. I'm a resident of Hazelwood. My address is 47 Ayrshire. My wife and I moved here 8 years ago. We moved here, because the city was very attractive to us coming from Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was neat, it was clean, we felt safe. And then, probably 7 years ago, something spectacular happened. The city, you guys put on a homecoming for my son coming home from Iraq, the Marine.
I
You
remember.
remember, yes. I didn't have this beard at the time, you don't recognize me. But anyway, and thank you again, that is still alive in our home today. We still talk about it. Over the years of doing my job, and Tanya, your situation is a daily conversation in our home. It's just a matter of not if, when somebody's gonna get seriously hurt. So thank you for knocking on my door. Thank you for inviting me here. So we are with you. That's for sure. And I'm sure we can do something to, help. But with that, I have noticed to and from my home, I'm in this city all day long, 8 hours. My job allows me, that's what I do. I work in the city. And I have seen a slight decline of cleanliness. Overgrown areas. There's on Fifi Road, that stop sign right there. If you don't watch it, it's halfway up to the stop sign. But I've seen it in several areas around the city. I'm sure that it probably had been addressed, but it's such a beautiful city and I want to keep it that way, but I'm seeing a little bit neglect. I don't know if it's neglect or whatever it is. You guys know more about it than I, but I just wish maybe we need a Hazelwood cleanup day. I don't know, but we need something, but I'm seeing when we do have car accidents in our city, unfortunately, but the tow truck will come and next thing you know, there's the bumper and the glass and everything left after that accident, just left right in the middle of the street. Is there a policy or something? Do they have to clean up, take the bumper with them, or I don't know. But something needs to be done about the trash after an accident, the glass, the bumpers, the lights, the debris left after an accident. Maybe we can address that with the towing company or what have you. But that needs to be cleaned up. Sometimes it's left there for weeks and months. In the litter I'm seeing. Most of the litter, my wife and I, when we drive, we kind of notice if anybody is throwing anything out. I have traveled through other states and there was a fine. I see fines for littering. In their states, they're pretty clean because the fine was pretty healthy in some other states. I don't know if we can address it. If you litter and if we catch you, there's a fine, something like that. But what I'm seeing overall, I love this city. This is my home, but I think we can do better in keeping this place cleaner. And the trees that just on Ayrshire, I have some of my neighbors here. When we turn that corner on Ayrshire, over the limbs, over the road. And every time I go in and I'm like, oh, please, I hope a limb don't fall. I mean, it's like this and you going under.
I'd like to
So-
say, sir, that you're way over 3
Yeah,
minutes. You're in
I
five.
totally agree. I kind of
You're doing
felt
great.
that.
You're doing great,
But-
bringing up a lot of great comments and
That's all, the main thing I wanted to get across. I'm sure we can do better as a city and city officials. Let's keep our city clean.
I
Thank you.
appreciate your comments, sir.
Mhm.
Thank you. Is there anybody else under citizens' comments? Yes, sir.
I'm new at this. This is my first city council meeting, so I appreciate your patience. Hello, Mr. Mayor and members of the city council. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. My name is Mike Henley Hudson. My husband and I are residents in Ward 8 with Jen Hatton. She's amazing. I'm very pleased to say I have been nominated for a position on the Community Enrichment Commission. I feel I am uniquely qualified for this position. I retired from the Wall Street Journal as a marketing and advertising specialist in new business development in Dallas, Texas. After I retired, I took a position with the North Texas LGBT Chamber of Commerce as a membership development advisor before moving back home to St. Louis and North County in 2023 to be closer to my adult children and grandchildren. I have held positions on 3 nonprofit board of directors. I'm also a proud alumni of Hazelwood West class of 77, or Wildcats. In order to familiarize myself with the requirements of being a member of the Community Enrichment Commission, I searched the City of Hazelwood's website. I'm very impressed with the city's commitment to non-discrimination. The policy states, all will be given equal consideration for all positions with the city, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, marital status, or veteran status, or the presence of a non-job related medical condition or disability. But whether it is intentionally or purely an oversight, I see that sexual orientation and gender identity are not a protected group listed in the city's non-discrimination policy. I have strived my entire life to have the LGBT community be included as a recognized entity. I always choose to share my talents with organizations that understand and value the contributions the LGBT community make in a society on a daily basis. I am pleased to say the city of St. Louis, as well as the Missouri State Board of Education, have sexual orientation and gender identity listed in their non-discrimination policies. And remember, businesses looking for new communities to add new locations look at city's non-discrimination policies to make sure it mirrors their company ethics and values. I encourage the city of Hazelwood to keep this in mind when trying to attract new business and have them choose Hazelwood as their new home. There are several LGBT families living in my neighborhood in the Riverwood Estates area in Ward 8. There are many more such families throughout Hazelwood. Most people have family members or friends in the LGBT community, and this includes LGBT children. I'm requesting the council update the city's non-discrimination policy to include sexual orientation and gender identity, at which time I will be happy to join the city's Community Enrichment Commission. I am looking forward to being involved with the city of Hazelwood and to keep Hazelwood on the forefront as a desirable place to live. Remember, our country's founding fathers said in 1765, taxation without representation is not fair. I welcome further discussion on this topic to facilitate a better understanding of why this issue is so very important. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, we're not allowed.
Is there anybody else from the audience who'd like to speak on our citizen comments? Yes, sir, please step forward. As everybody else, sign your name and
Howdy, my name's Jacob Gonzalez and, I live at 10 Northshire. And on the, matter of what's going on with the intersection, I just hope we can, help them out and get something accomplished, whatever we decide to come up with, before someone gets hurt. Don't want to see anything. The other thing I'd like to just comment on, I work in Florissant. I do see there are cop cars sitting around with nobody in them, but they don't really move them. But I was thinking if we have one off-duty officer comes off, have one sit, at the park or something, just there to try to encouraging people to slow down, put one on Lindbergh or another business. Just instead of coming back to the lot, and it's sitting, we can kind of use it, make us look like we have, bigger, area of, patrol. But just trying to slow people down in our, cities instead of people flying up and down Lindbergh or other places, or trying to get, a little, broader area and something that's not gonna really cost anything, just to kind of help out. But, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else under citizens' comments? Anybody else under citizens' comments would like? You don't have to raise your hand. You can file up here and sign your name in as we have in the past, so.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name's Don Davidson, member of Hazelwood since 1962. First, I wanted to thank the street department, but they're not here. Don't know why, but they came and patched a hole in front of my house today. Didn't even ask to have it done, and did a very good job, took care of it. And I was very pleased with it. Number two, the 3-minute rule is, I think it's against our rights. Just because few people up here voted to make us have a 3-minute rule, we lose our right to speak. And apparently you don't care what we say because we only get 3 minutes to say it. But I'm totally against it. I, for one, was very upset last meeting. I didn't appreciate the treatment that Claire got, the way she was yelled at. That's not a proper way to conduct business. I think it was very insulting to her. It was very insulting to us as a public. And I didn't appreciate it. I think she deserves a apology. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Anybody else under citizens' comments?
My name is Sharon Dash. I live at 6 Meditation Way Court. I'm a trustee with Riverwood Estates. All the council people, mayor, all of you are elected by residents. We come out and we vote for you because we hope you believe in us enough to represent us. I'm elected too by the residents of my community. 2 weeks ago, we asked the mayor during email a question about a resident who sits on a commission who is not a resident, but a homeowner. I didn't believe that homeowners could just sit on as a commissioner. I thought you had to be a resident and actually live in the city. As of today, 2 weeks later, we've gotten no response from the mayor. My thing is this. Last year, we had a councilman who called some women on the council a derogatory name. A month ago, Hazelwood made the newspaper because we had another council person who called a resident with a derogatory statement. Now we have a mayor who doesn't answer emails from residents. I'm not saying that an answer always has to be given, but an acknowledgement that I received the email, I'm going to check into it and get back to you would have sufficed for us. Our residents ask us for answers, and we look to our council person and the city and the mayor. And it seems to me that there's a lack of respect, not only for each other, but for those of us that put you there. I'm gonna use the same term that the person from the school district said, moving forward. We want to move forward. We need for it to be positive. If you can't acknowledge a resident by simply saying, thanks for the email, I'll check into it and get back to you. What do we have going on here? How do you expect the city to grow? How do you expect the residents to respect people who don't respect us? We come out in the rain, in the heat, whatever it takes to get you elected. You owe it to us to listen, to try to get it right. And if you can't, acknowledge the fact that we care. There are elections coming up, and let me tell you something. I want to stand on the corner and lead the path to say, get rid of the people who aren't doing the job. And let's get some people in here who care. It just doesn't make sense that we can't be courteous to each other.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else under citizens' comments? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Name's Dave Flynn. And
I'm sorry, can you repeat your name?
David Flynn,
Thank you.
and I just want to comment a little bit about traffic in the area. I've been here 56, 7 years somewhere. And it seems like every time we improve our streets, we lose control of our speed control. And I just believe we need to step us back a little bit with speed bumps and long stretches of blacktop raceways. Just to control the traffic. Whether it's, I live on Utz Lane. And it seems like they get off Limburg and they make that continue at the same speed, 40 mile an hour. That's it. I was there about 10 years when Greg Potoff was hit by a car, knocked into my yard, and has never recovered, to my knowledge. So I think it's not a minor thing. It's something that should be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else with citizens' comments? Not, thank you. That concludes time for citizens' comments. There are no public hearings. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? Mayor and council reports. We got the September 10th work session agenda. Hearing nothing there. We've got board and commission appointments. I have got Jim Sewell for Board of Adjustments, Mike Feldman for Civil Service Board, Susan Kelly for Historic Preservation Commission, and Luke Sotomay, Pension Plan Board of Trustees. Is there any other appointments that need to be added? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the appointments present? Make a motion to approve. A motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Right.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Is there anything else under mayor and council reports? We have consideration, no, that's. I don't know. Is that under mayor and council reports? C, consideration of amending chapter 110, qualifications, removal, and the conduct ethics bar council member.
In your council packet tonight, you will find a draft bill. In July of 2025, the council adopted a resolution on decorum at public meetings to promote respectful, orderly, and productive public sessions. That resolution focused on conduct during meetings and set the expectation that all participants, including council members, maintain civility and follow established rules of procedure. The proposed ordinance before you builds upon that resolution by establishing a formal policy specifically addressing council member behavior, both during meetings and in the general performance of official duties. It sets forth enforceable standards for qualifications, ethical responsibilities, and decorum, as well as procedures for addressing violations. Summary of the amendments and changes include establish minimum requirements for age, residency, voter registration, and ward residency, prohibits holding other elective office or serving as a city employee while on the council, requires forfeiture of office for loss of qualifications or conviction of specified offenses, grants the council authority to investigate and adjudicate qualifications, election results, and removal proceedings with subpoena power and due process protections. Under the City Council Code of Ethic and Conducts, it outlines mayor's responsibilities, which is presiding over the meetings, maintaining order and decorum, promoting balanced participation, and mediating disputes. It sets forth council member responsibilities, which would be speaking only when recognized, avoiding personal attacks, following appeal procedures, and submitting questions in advance when possible. The Code of Conduct requires courtesy and respect towards colleagues, staff, and the public, prohibiting disruptive behavior, improper disclosure of closed session matters, and misuse of office for personal gain. It also promotes integrity, public service, avoidance of conflicts of interest, honesty, and the adherence to democratic principles. Violations and enforcement provide for reprimand, censure, removal, or other sanctions, and establish a process for investigating and adjudicating alleged violations. The July 2025 resolution laid the groundwork for maintaining civility and order in public meetings. This ordinance expands upon that commitment by providing comprehensive framework for the council conduct at all times, not just during meetings, making standards of ethics and decorum enforceable through clear procedures and sanctions, and ensuring that council members are held to the highest standard of behavior, thereby fostering public trust and effective governance. Do you have any questions? City Attorney will be happy to answer.
I do have a question on the violations and enforcement, providing a reprimand, censure, removal. We had gotten a removal process that Mr. O'Keefe had sent to us, I want to say last year, end of last year. I think we need to put that back on next meeting maybe and take a look at that and see what we can come to some sort of removal. We don't have a removal process, correct?
Isn't that what G does?
Well, no, that just says we can do it, right?
The council may adopt a final resolution of majority, which may be effective immediately by a vote of the majority of the affected members.
Is that what we're considering?
Charge already.
That is part of the draft legislation. And there is a provision in the second section, the second proposed code section, for the process of identifying violations and hearings on that as well.
Yes, Robert. First and foremost, Ms. Wilo, I apologize for interceding when you were speaking. But in reading over this, my issue with this is I don't believe it should be a simple majority to remove. It should be a minimum of 2/3 of the unaffected members, and that is what I'm putting forward as a change to this draft. And what exactly does it mean by majority of the unaffected members? Does that mean the person accused doesn't get to vote in their own defense?
Yes, sir.
So we don't listen to the 3,000 residents that they represent?
Obviously, the council member who is the subject of the inquiry is heard. But that council member's vote does not count toward the required majority for action under this draft.
Okay. Oh. I believe that that person not only should participate in their own defense, but also should be able to have their voice heard as a duly elected member of this body. Until action is taken for them to be removed, they're still a fully fledged member of this council.
Again, that's a policy call for the council.
And that's why I'm addressing it to the full council.
I would just observe that one of the reasons for this is that that this approach is consistent with the council's policy that members interested in a matter before the council recuse themselves. And obviously, the individual who is under consideration for discipline has an interest in the outcome of that discussion and that vote. It was also trying to cut something of a middle ground between a simple majority of the body, which is 5 out of 9. And this would require 5 out of 8, a slightly higher number, rather than 2/3 of 9, which is 6. So it's just it's an effort to find some middle ground. But obviously the council can act it on it, write it, pass it any way you want.
Is there any other questions or discussion? Any other questions or discussion?
I just wanted to, I would like to just say one thing that I just want to bring up, it doesn't have to do with what Mr. Smith was saying, but the items where it says that one possible, council should submit questions. I just want to point out that although that's great for helping staff to answer any of our questions in advance, this meeting is the only time that this body ever communicates. And so I would encourage us not to only email the city manager our questions in advance, but I think that it's an opportunity for other council members to also hear what the questions are and understand what's going on. We have no communication outside of this meeting, and so it would be really helpful if we kind of understood what everybody's concern was about all resolutions moving forward. So only sending questions in advance to the city manager and not even Google Council, I think would be a mistake if that's something that we vote on.
We can look into that for sure.
I would agree with that, and even if it's questions among ourselves, I know one of the responses will likely be it's public record. That's fine. I mean, I don't care if it's public record, quite honestly. You know, we'll just put Julie on it and.
Oh, it's public record.
Right.
Anything's open. Right.
So I asked the question on what do you think? I don't think there's a problem with that.
Right.
Personally.
Anything else? Any other suggested questions or need answers for any of this? We do have a second reading coming up tonight. Would just be first reading. If somebody would like to make a motion, to put this on for first reading, we can look this over still. If not, we can hold first reading down and do readings on a different date.
Lala wanted to see the other legislation that was circulated previously. I'd be happy to do that. And I'd be happy to prepare a revised draft for council's consideration, which would address Mr. Smith's intended amendment.
And then Jen's, what section is that, Jen? Where did it say that? I mean, I know it did, I'm just not looking directly at it.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it needs to actually be in there. I just think as a group, we should make it clear that if we are submitting the questions in advance, in order to help staff answer them before a meeting, that it also should be shared with other council members.
Yeah, I thought there was something alluding to that in here, but
There is, it's the last line of the subsection, on the third page of the legislation.
Thank
That it allows staff time to address the council members' concern and provide all council members with any additional information.
Right. Is there any other questions? Sounds like Kevin's gonna make some adjustments to this and come back for a first reading on another date.
For further discussion.
For further discussion.
Wants to introduce.
thank you.
Item 11D, we have 2025 Celebrate Safe Communities event.
The Neighborhood Watch has recommended holding the Celebrate Safe Communities event at Abashan Park from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In addition to other Celebrate Safe Community events throughout the city, and the date of the Celebrate Safe Communities is September 25th.
Next, anything else in our mayor council
Yeah,
report?
I do have, just to go back to what Mrs. Dash had mentioned about emails, it would really be nice. I get frustrated as a council person that there's no response back. I know you guys are really busy and, you know, responding back or something, but at least acknowledge, especially the residents, at least acknowledge that something has been received from them. We do it I do it, I can't speak for others, I do it as a council person. When my residents send something, and I just think that upper leadership should do the same.
I'd like to ask Ms. Pace, did that email come directly from you?
Who's Ms. Pace?
Dash. Sharon?
It came from the board, Redwood State Trustee Board,
Okay, I'll
through
look
Matt
that up.
Darrow.
Okay, I'll look that email up. This is the first I heard of it. I did not see that in the last week. I apologize.
It was sent to both you and I, Mr. Mayor, and then I sent a separate mayor email to you last week asking you to please respond. So it's been in your inbox twice now.
Mrs. Hatton, I think that's probably where the problem is.
Okay.
Sometimes your emails are negative, sometimes they're disrespectful. And I told you in the past that if there is negative or disrespectful comments in there, then I'm not going to engage in that type of email. I knew when Mrs. Dash was up here that that email had to do something with you.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you can't respond and say, I'll check on it. It doesn't matter if she calls you one name and the other.
Wow.
A response back to say, let me check on that is all you have to do. That's not that's not getting into anything.
I choose to email my
The nice
I
people
choose to engage on emails that need to be answered to.
that need, okay, and that is a leadership. defect
Obviously,
right
we
there.
have a problem between two council members and you're not gonna fix that. You
Well,
don't want to. You wanna put it out in the public that we have a problem.
I'm,
Now we know we have a problem. I'm not responding to negative emails. I don't even wanna get involved in this conversation with you right now.
of course you don't.
No, because it's not gonna go anywhere.
My request is that at least respond
I
to people's
will look
emails.
for the email with the board and I will respond to the board.
I like that you can pick and choose who you respond to. Thank you. That's all I have.
Is there any other under citizen or council and mayor reports? Anything else in our mayor and council reports? Hearing none, we have city managers report. 12A, consideration of contract for information technology support service.
Yep. Good evening, council. People in attendance, my name is Jim Hudnick, police chief for the city of Hazelwood. The attached, you have in your packet a proposed contract to enter into a one-year contract with AutoSolve to provide managed IT services for the city of Hazelwood at a cost of $9,900 a month or $119,400 per year. AutoSolve service will include device monitoring and remote on-site services for maintaining and managing PCs, laptops, tablets, servers, network connectivity, cybersecurity frameworks and functionality on a Microsoft platform and associated technologies. AutoSolve will provide in-person technical support services and remote administration for IT issues. AutoSolve will continue to provide additional on-site help desk support as they have always have. On Mr. Robinson's retirement in spring of '24, we asked AutoSolve to provide a part-time person for additional in-person support to pick up the slack. This part-time position is being eliminated with this contract. AutoSolve currently is our managed IT service provider. Its staff recommends continuing this decade-old partnership. In addition to the above services, this past year, AutoSolve has replaced and upgraded our infrastructure that controls every server in the PD and City Hall, and currently is working on the infrastructure of the city's data recovery system, which is housed down at Community Center. This includes replacing and upgrading the core and adding additional redundancy in case of system failures. Apologize for the phone system to everybody. Thus, staff recommends entering into a one-year contract with AutoSolve for $119,400, which is $27,604, less than our budgeted $147,004. Saving again is due to the eliminated part-time position. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
If I do have one question, will it also support the workstations in your patrol vehicles?
Yes, sir. To include some wiring, our mounting stations, they do a lot. Yes. And everything at all the community centers, the gaming and all that kind of stuff. Parks, yes.
Is there any other questions for Jim? Any other questions? This would be appropriate to put on for first reading.
Make a motion to put on first reading. I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second to put on for first reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Consideration of purchase of police vehicles.
Good evening again, Jim Hudnick, Police Chief, City of Hazelwood. Staff is recommending the purchase of 4 police vehicles, a 2025 Ford F-150, a 2025 Chevy Silverado, and 2 2025 Dodge Durangos with equipment for a total cost of $225,114. In the upcoming fiscal year 26 Police Department cap-I budget, it provides $230,000 for the purchase of 4 patrol vehicles, emergency equipment, decals, and installation costs. The 4 new police vehicles replace a 2020 Ford Explorer, a 2017 Ford Explorer, 2019 Dodge Charger, and a 2014 F-150. These vehicles being phased out will be utilized as pool cars offered to other city departments. And if no takers, then we'll sell them at auction. State of Missouri uses, as you all know, the Missouri buys e-procurement system, where car dealerships, upon meeting set parameters by the state of Missouri, become registered contractors to provide patrol vehicles statewide. It is incumbent upon buyers here in the state of Hazelwood to contact dealers directly for sales of vehicles. Using the registered contractors list we contact, we're able to locate the above vehicles from 3 different dealerships. Joe Mockins Ford in Columbia, Don Brown in St. Louis, and Landmark Chrysler Dodge in Independence. Staff's recommended we seek approval to purchase the above 4 police vehicles with equipment installation for a final total cost of $225,114. Any questions?
Any questions from council members?
I appreciate you always staying within or under your budget.
Thank you. It's difficult.
I'm sure.
Any other questions? This is just a motion to approve purchase.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have consideration contract of the HVAC rooftop unit for the police department.
Good evening, council. Jim Hudnick, Chief of Police, City of Hazelwood. Fiscal year 2026 capital improvement fund budget includes $230,000 for replacement of the police department's rooftop HVAC unit. I can say that over the last few years, I think it's kept together by some wire and duct tape. It's awfully warm in half the building. Specifications were sent to 13 prospective companies, and on Monday, August 11th, 2025, the city received 3 bids. CNR Mechanical of Bridgeton for $195,858. Integrated Facility Services of Fenton for $198,500, and Deca Service of Fenton for $199,680. The project will replace the existing 35-ton rooftop HVAC unit installed in 2007 with a new 35-ton unit. The current unit is nearly 20 years old and needs to be replaced due to age, multiple unrepairable refrigerant leaks, and small but reoccurring issues with compressors and motors and high maintenance costs. And with refrigerant, when refrigerant is needed, it requires R22, which is costly and increasingly difficult to obtain. Staff recommends awarding the contract to CNR Mechanical Company as the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder. Their bid comes in $34,142 under budget, which I'm happy about, providing significant cost savings. CNR has successfully completed numerous other HV replacement projects for the city facilities and currently serves as the city's HVAC maintenance contractor. Any questions?
Chief, I do have one question. Once this, if this-
22 weeks.
That's,
Yes, it'll be installed sometime in the spring.
or it starts getting hot again.
Yes. That's, I guess that's the HVAC world right now.
That's, their
Yeah.
their schedule's full.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Is that your question?
Yes, sir. That's what I was looking at. Thank you for being on the ball.
Yes, I think originally when we started talking about it in May, June, they were looking at 40-odd weeks. And I guess it's August now. It says closer to that number, yeah.
Is there any other questions for Jim? Hearing none, this need the first reading.
On the commission, put it on for first reading.
Second. Been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Anything else under city manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you'll forgive me. There's quite a few items I think the council and the citizens should be made aware of. The latest city newsletter has been completed and mailed to the residents. I'm hoping each and every one of you got one of those. There are extra copies in City Hall and the community newsletter. Members of the police department recently met with residents in the 600 block of Coach Light who were upset over a shooting in the neighborhood. And as you're aware, a homeowner from that area came to the last city council meeting to express her concerns. In talking to the police, the residents expressed their concerns about the rental property creating problems. Our officers explained our new rental housing program and provided them a copy of the ordinance. The residents further stated there have been numerous concerns, but they have not called the police. We encourage them, and I will say this even to anybody else when there's a problem, we encourage them to call and the police so we can start a documentation trail. The citizens appeared very happy with the results of that meeting. Police have contacted the property manager and advised her about the neighborhood concerns and experiences. They also informed her of the exterior housing violations. The owner has stated that this is an activity that they did not want at the rental property and assured officers she would expedite an eviction process as the family already has had a judgment against them for non-payment. But she did not have an estimate for the time for the eviction. State Senator Angela Walton Mosley will be hosting a town hall meeting of the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, or better known as RECA, on Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Greater Grace Church in Ferguson at 3690 Herschel Road. And as you're aware, RECA is the special set-aside funds acquired by Senator Hawley to help those impacted by the radioactive contamination. 2 weeks ago, a resident faulted Hazelwood officials for not attending all court settings related to Robertson Fire District's lawsuit against the city. Lest any of our residents understood, the mayor and council members continuously receive frequent, comprehensive briefings on all aspects of the fire district suit throughout the past 7 years. And since Robertson has started the case, and I hope the council knows and has experienced that if you do have questions individually, you can contact Kevin and myself. The council meets with our litigation counsel before and after every important step to hear attorneys explain what has happened and what is coming up, and to get direction from the council on how they should proceed. In addition, our city attorney and I keep the council fully informed and transmit their feedback to from our trial lawyers constantly. In my experience, the only reason for a public official to personally appear in court for legal arguments or procedural discussions is either as a thinly disguised effort to intimidate the judge, which I can assure you will not help, but will provoke opposition from the judge and anger, or because they don't trust their lawyers, which I will tell you emphatically, we do trust Armstrong Teasdale. They have led us competently, very competently. Our lawyers can and will advise the mayor and council if their presence would be beneficial to the city's case. I know that each and every one of our officials will do their part if called upon. Additionally, the September 22nd hearing is very likely going to take place in the judge's chambers, as it is more or less a status conference and not a true hearing taking up an argument on any motions. Party representatives are not likely going to be invited to the judge's chambers for the discussions, which will concern trial dates and where the case is going overall. Something that I've also heard from the council, and I want to express this to the citizens, and as we've heard tonight, school has started. And I will say on behalf of the council, and I hope I know the council agrees with me that that everyone please take precautions when driving our city streets, especially now. We have children walking to bus stops and school, and we as drivers should make every effort to be safe and to protect our children. Please be careful and be alert for our youngest citizens going to school. At the last city council meeting, Mayor Robinson and I believe council member Hatton also, if I do remember correctly, brought up the subject about paving an extension of Pratt Place into Florissant to make it easier to access services to nearby pharmacies and grocery stores. Presently, there is a small strip of ground that is sod, and the terrain is difficult to maneuver through, especially when it is wet. I want the council to know that Public Works Director David Stewart has reached out to his counterpart in Florissant to gain their support for a connection. And we will continue to pursue this process and keep everybody informed of what is to take place and get your approval as we move forward. Finally, and excuse me here as I do this. I gotta do it now. Okay. The building department and code enforcement monthly reports are now live on our website. This is at the request of the mayor and the council. And I want to also give credit to City Clerk Julie Lowry for putting these on the website. These reports provide the community with current activities regarding permits, inspections, and code enforcement activities. I want to show you how you can access these, and you can show these to this is all public, this is on our website. So all you have to do is go to your government, to the departments where it says building department and code enforcement, click on that. And then if you scroll down in the green box on the left is monthly reports. And now you can access every report, whether it's inspections or permits, and you can gain access in that way.
for the past 3 months.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad for the correction or the addition to that. So that way you can always direct your the citizens about this. So I just want everybody to see how you can access that at your own leisure. So that is my report at this time. I'm sorry if I took too much time, but I hope this was beneficial. And if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to address any questions you might have. It can be, yes, sir. I'll put that in the Friday memo. Yep.
Need the stuff for the weekend.
Yes, I can do that too. Absolutely. Be happy to do that.
Has that been posted on the city Facebook page that we could cut and paste and blast that ourselves?
The RECA meeting or the,
Yeah. Anything that you've addressed this evening, sir.
some of it has, not all of it, but I will make sure that's on there by.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
That concludes the city manager's report.
Yes, sir.
City attorney's report. No reports. City clerk's report.
No report.
Anything under new business? Nothing under new business? Introduction and first reading of bills. Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 5179, first reading, an ordinance authorizing a contract with AuditSolve for computer network services for a 1-year term at a cost not to exceed $119,400. Bill number 5180, first reading, an ordinance authorizing a contract with CNR Mechanical Company for purchase and installation of a rooftop HVAC unit at the police station at a cost not to exceed $195,858. Who's first reading of bills?
That concludes first reading of bills. Next, we'll have item 18A. Yeah, anything else?
I didn't know if we moved those first readings to second tonight. Just didn't know. I wasn't sure if we had to wait.
No, there has to be a very good emergency to do that. I don't think that qualifies. So we're at 18A, bill number 5178. Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 5178, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance authorizing and granting permanent special land use permit to Arizona Auto Sales Incorporated for a vehicle service and repair facility at 7111-7115 North Hanley Road and providing the conditions of such use.
Is there any questions from city council? Any comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. This will be a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Hatton,
Yes.
Mr. Goops,
Yes.
Mr. Abishon,
Yes.
Mrs. Henderson,
Yes.
Ms. Wagler,
Yes.
Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
Bill number 5178 is unanimously adopted as ordinance number 5059-25.
Thank you. That concludes second reading of bills. We have miscellaneous business and announcements. City Hall will be closed on Labor Day, September 1st. Regular city council meeting, September 3rd at 6:30 PM. Hazelwood Day at September 13th at 3 PM. If there's no further business before the council, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second. Been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.